everyone! I am finally ready to share my bullet journal setup with you all that I promised back in my Erin Condren haul video a couple weeks ago. I've been working on getting it set up ever since I got it, and I am so in love. Like I mentioned in that video, I was kind of not really feeling my current planner setup, and so I knew that meant I needed to change something. And I got really into the whole bullet journal idea. I don't know, I kind of fell in love with it. I never really was drawn to it before, but recently it just really spoke to me, and so I decided to give it a try, and I got one of Erin Condren's, I believe she calls these journals. I got the dot grid interior, and if you want to see more details on the notebook itself, you can watch the haul video, which I'll link for you guys up there. But yeah, so that's a little backstory on why I'm starting bullet journaling, and I'm basically going to be using this as my main planner to take over, you know, like my daily to-dos, lots of weekly, monthly, yearly tracking, and you will see all of that in this planner. I'm trying to kind of combine and simplify my planner system because I was just finding that I wasn't using it the way it was set up with all sorts of different planners. So instead of fighting it, I decided to kind of work with what works for me, and this is really working for me. I am absolutely loving this planner so far, and yeah, I can't wait to show you how I got it all set up. So before I open it up, I wanted to kind of show you guys some of the accessories and tools I've been using in my bullet journal. I wanted to keep things super simple with this planner, and so I'm mainly sticking with like all black everything and a slight bit of color. So mostly everything will be black, but when I feel it's necessary, I'm gonna add a little bit of color with these zebra, I think mild liners is what they're called. They're like dual-ended highlighters, and I have these 5 colors, but I believe there's like 20 colors overall. There's like 4 different packs, and I really love these, and I think they're a nice, soft touch of color if I need it, since they're, you know, like a kind of a pastel-y, and they won't be, you know, too overwhelming and too bright. So yeah, that was my thoughts on going into getting this all set up. I decided to stick with one pen. I like, you know, using the same pen throughout a whole planner or something, and so I decided to go with the Pilot Juice pens, and this is, you know, in obviously black, and it's the .38 tip. This is a gel pen, and I love how these write. They are so smooth, they are so amazing, and I just think they give a really nice look. I don't know, I love these pens. So that's the pen I'm using, and then I'm also doing a bit of stamping, and I'm using the VersaFine, I think it's called Onyx Black. Yeah, Onyx Black ink with my stamps. And of course I'm using my all-time favorite planner stamps, and I am super excited to get back into planner stamping. Stamping was the first kind of crafty thing that I got into with planning when I first kind of started with the whole planner community thing, and in my opinion, you just cannot do better than Studio L2E planner stamps. They are just amazing quality in my opinion, and stunning designs. I absolutely fell in love with them from the start, and I was actually lucky enough to be on Studio L2E's first ever design team, and so I got to work with a bunch of their stamps and kind of test out all their different products, and that only reinforced my love of their company and their products. I have a whole bunch that I used throughout setting up my bullet journals, but I wanted to kind of pull out 3 of my favorite sets to kind of show you guys and give you guys an example of the types of stamps I'm using and how I'm using them. So one of my favorite all-time sets from Studio L2E is Happy Notes, and it just comes with all these little like kind of boxes and markers, and then a little kind of stamped washi strips that you can like put in the tops of the little post-it note things for a little decoration. And I don't know why this set just has always been my favorite. I think it's just the cutest thing ever. It has like the slightest hint of kawaii, which is I don't, you know, like over the top kawaii, but I think a little touch is always really cute. And so this is just good for maybe marking events in your weekly calendar. I used it on my monthly thing, which you'll see. And then next up is the iconic little icon stamps, and these are again super useful, especially in smaller, maybe like monthly spreads where you need to indicate some bills or just a task or an appointment or anything, and these little icons do a perfect job of doing that. And then my favorite alpha set from her is the Woo Woo alphabet stamps, and I found that these were perfect for kind of titling my bullet journal layouts. So like, you know, your different pages need like titles to tell you what is on that page, and I love this alphabet, and so I've been using that to title my pages, and I think it looks really nice. And so yeah, so those are a couple of my favorite sets, but like I said, I have this whole basket full of Studio L2E stamps that I use, and so you can definitely find stamps to fit any of your needs. She has individualized kind of themed sets. She has seasonal sets. This video isn't sponsored. I have been a longtime fan of hers, and I am so excited to get back into stamping again, because I kind of took a detour and I stopped really stamping in my planners that much, but now like I am back and I am so back in love with it, and I'm just really excited. So yeah, without further ado, let's actually open up my bullet journal. So around the outside I have one of these like Erin Condren Keep It Together bands that I ordered when I got my notebook, and then in the little, I guess this might be a pen loop, or just a decorative flag, I don't know. But I attached to this adorable little decorative cupcake charm that I have from Shea Crafts, and I'll leave her like Instagram and Etsy shop linked below and maybe on the screen or something, because I just think this is the cutest thing. I got it with my Kiki K planner, but I never found a good spot to attach it there, and so I'm really excited to finally have like a little home for my cupcake, because I think it's the most precious thing in the world. Okay, so let me kind of get some stuff out of the way so I can really open up and show you guys. The one thing I want to say right away, and it is kind of really annoying me, is the fact that the Erin Condren journal is perforated, which honestly it might be useful for some. I personally will not be using it perforated, but that's besides the point. The first page is perforated so far in that it hits right where the spine bends, and so the page is already like detaching on its own just from me using the journal regularly, not being, you know, like harsh with it, not pulling. And so I kind of like reinforced it with some washi tape, but I don't know, I'm a little annoyed that I had to do that almost within like 2 days of getting the journal. And so for paying $20 for a notebook, I was a little peeved that I had to do that. But anyways, all right, let me zoom you guys in a bit so you can kind of see what's going on. Okay, so hopefully you can see a little better. I designated the first 4 pages in my bullet journal to my index, and I already kind of have things set up for what I have so far in my journal, and then I can, you know, fill it in as I keep adding stuff as I continue to use my bullet journal. So I decided to, you know, like list the different pages that I have so far over here, and then the page number over here. I have each page numbered in the upper left or, you know, right corner. And yeah, I used a dotted line to connect the page title to the actual page number so I can easily follow it across the page, and I just think it looks really pretty. I don't know, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's nice and simple, and so it's, you know, easy to read, but it's still cute. So yeah, really happy about that. Like I said, the first 4 pages are the index, and then we get to my yearly stuff. So I started off with a 2016 title page, and I added a little decorative border around 2016 using those Woo Woo Alpha stamps that I showed you before, and I just think it's really, again, nice and simple but still cute. And over here I included a year at a glance page with, you know, each month kind of laid out for 2016. And this page I'm not going to include pretty much like any plans or anything on it. It's basically just a reference page. So if I need to see like what day of the week a certain date falls on, I can just check here really quick. And I just kind of like labeled each month with the first letter of the month name in different ink colors, kind of coordinating with the season of the year that that month falls in. Next up, I have a 2016 outline and an important dates page. So since I started this planner late in the year, I kind of had to go in and backfill this page, but in theory, in the future, I will, you know, fill out this page kind of as the year progresses, and so I still have October, November, and December to kind of fill in a bit as we, you know, live those months. But this is basically big events like travel or, you know, like my birthday or just any big exciting events I want to remember that kind of really stick out for this year. Like I have our engagement party down here. I have, you know, a couple vacations we took or Melissa took. And yeah, so I'm so happy with how this page turned out. I love the dotted lines in between each month. I love the stamps to kind of like indicate each different event with the tiny little icons. I am really happy with how this turned out. And I will definitely be doing this for every year that I'm using a bullet journal, because I just think it's a really cool way to kind of reference the highlights from each year. And next up over here, I just have a holidays and birthdays, kind of again a reference page. So any major holidays, I just kind of wrote down most of them. I mean, you already know the date automatically, but some of them like Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Father's Day, those dates change, and so it's nice to kind of have all of that in one place, easy to access, and just, yeah. And then over here I have some birthdays written down, mostly close friends and immediate family, and then some extended family, but I didn't have room for a ton, and so, yeah, that's what I have. Okay, and the next 2 pages I'm actually not going to show you because it has some kind of personal information on it, but essentially they are 2 pages that looks like this that I used as yearly trackers. So, for example, you could do like a tracker for any travel you did that year and kind of like mark off the weeks or days that you were out of town. And I want to use like these style of pages to track anything that I want to be able to see quickly at a year, how much and when that specific event occurred. And so yeah, that's what I used that for. But like I said, I used it for some personal things, and so I'm not gonna show you. Okay, and the next 4 pages are all the same thing, and this is my future log for 2017. And basically I have 3 months per page, and with a little calendar for, you know, each month to kind of, again, be able to see at a glance what that month looks like. And we don't have too much planned for 2017 yet, but we do have 2 big events that we already know, you know, that we will be doing. Clearly, we have our wedding, which is marked off down here, and then we also have Melissa's good friend and his fiance are getting married about a month before us, and so I was able to, you know, put those 2 in there so we know that we will be doing that next year. And basically, as we plan, say, like our honeymoon or any other travel that we'll be doing next year, I can mark that in on this page. And yeah, I just really like the idea of kind of seeing ahead of time what we have already planned for next year. And because sometimes, I mean, maybe for things like dentist or doctor's appointments, you make those plans way ahead of time, and so I could put those in here to kind of keep them so they don't get, you know, lost and out of the shuffle since they're in the future. So yeah, that's what these pages will be used for. And then next up, I got into my monthly planning, and so this is for October, and I am so in love with how this monthly page turned out. I got the idea from, I believe, 2 people on Instagram, and their names are escaping me right now. I can't think of their Instagram names right now, but I will definitely leave them on the screen for you guys and linked down below because they had some super inspiring bullet journal layouts, and I am so obsessed with this monthly layout, and I definitely plan to keep using it in the future. So basically it's, you know, a wheel of the month, so you have, you know, the dates and the days of the week, and then any, you know, specific events that you want to mark for the month, you do so. So I have like all my bills and when they're due. I also have, you know, Halloween is the holiday for this month, and then we're going out of town this weekend and I have that marked, and I have birthdays. And so yeah, I'm planning on using these kind of monthly wheels as big important events, you know, like I said, bills, holidays, birthdays, any travel. Again, like the yearly overview planner, I just think it looks so cute with these little like icons and all the different boxes, and yeah, very happy with how that turned out. And then over on the right, I have my goals and my to-dos for the month, and I decided to kind of, instead of using plain check boxes, I use little pumpkins and acorns to kind of go with the theme of October. And again, I think it's cute, but it's not too over the top, and so it kind of sticks with the simple theme that I'm kind of trying to go for with my bullet journal. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. So at the beginning of each month, I will write down 5 goals for myself, and then any like to-dos that I know I need to get done by the end of the month. So yeah, there's that. And then the last pages I have, oh no, just kidding, second to last I think. I have a monthly habit tracker. And so I had this all set up and ready to go by the beginning of October, but then I wasn't able to film it for you guys. And I really wanted to film it before I started like using it and marking it up, I guess, so that you could kind of see the blank slate that it was. So I haven't actually marked off anything like on my habit tracker or used it this month. So essentially I have all the habits that I want to track down the left column, and then all the days of the month on the top. And then, you know, every day that I complete a habit, I am going to kind of like color the box in so that, you know, by the end of the month I'll be able to see, you know, how successful I was at each habit that I'm either forming or tracking or whatever. And then I also have a couple of things that I'm actually going to be writing in numbers. So like down here I have hours of TV that we watch at night, and so I kind of want to keep an eye on that to make sure we're not, you know, like wasting too much time watching TV. And so I'll just basically write in, you know, the amount of time we spent each night watching TV, and so I can keep a track of that. And then after the monthly tracker, I have my weekly layout pages. And so like I said, I had this all set up to start using the weekly pages on the 3rd of October, but then I never got to film this, and I wanted to show this to you before it got filled in, and so yeah, that's why it's set up for, you know, in the past and still empty. But anyways, up at the top and then this one box, I have different boxes for each day of the week. And for right now, this is where I'm just gonna basically put different to-dos for each day. And in the future, I wanna kind of customize things more. So yeah, I have those to write in my daily to-dos and then check them off as I obviously complete them. And then down here, I have another kind of like weekly box thing that is for meal planning. And I haven't decided. I'll probably just track dinners in here, but I might end up doing lunches and dinners. But the plan is to write in pencil the meal that we have planned for each day of the week, and then as we actually, you know, have that meal, write in pen what we actually had, because a lot of the times I also do want to remember what we had for dinner in the past, because we'll have leftovers. And we want to like know when we made that meal, and so if the leftovers are still good, basically. So that's a common problem faced in our house, so I think that'll be really useful for us. And then I also have another little monthly outline thing that I plan to highlight the like current week that is on these pages. So like for this week, I'd highlight from the 3rd to the 9th. And not for any major reason, just because I think it'll look cute and it'll kind of be nice to see where we are in the month. And then down here, I saw this idea on someone else's, this whole layout is inspired by someone else, by the way, who I will, again, leave their Instagram username across this screen and linked down below. And also anyone else that inspired me, because all of my layouts are heavily inspired by other people on Instagram and Pinterest, because this is my first bullet journal. I am brand new, and so I had no real like original ideas myself, and I just was taking ideas from other people, and I want to see what will work for me. And as I use it more and more, kind of tweak things to fit my style and what I need. So anyways, anyone that deserves credit will be linked down below, and yeah. But anyways, back to my sleep tracker. So it's going to be a little like bar graph, and so on Monday I will record how many hours of sleep I got the night before, and kind of, you know, make a little bar above there saying I got 8, 10, whatever hours. And then Tuesday I will, you know, record how many hours of sleep I got the night before, so between Monday and Tuesday. And so yeah, I just think that'll be a really fun thing to track, and because sleep is so important. I am a person, I need a lot of sleep to be like a functioning person, and so yeah, I want to kind of be able to track how much sleep I'm getting. Alright, moving on to this page, I have a weather forecast. And again, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this. Just like with the meal planner, I want to write in kind of like the actual forecast, and then again, maybe record what the weather ended up being. Although I'm not sure there'd be any purpose in recording what it ended up being, because like once it's happened, who cares? So I'll probably just maybe on Sunday and then like Thursday, I'll sit down at night, or Wednesday maybe, and kind of put in the weather forecast for the next, you know, couple days ahead, since it's most accurate 3 to 4 days at a time, I think. And I also want to include temperature high and lows in there, and I plan on using little Studio L2E weather stamps to indicate the weather. And then finally, the last little box on the page is a next week box. And basically this is where I can write in anything that we have planned for next week, or anything that I didn't get done this week that I need to get done next week, and just kind of like a scratch area for like anything I need to write for next week. Alright, and that finishes up my first bullet journal setup tour. I hope you guys really enjoyed getting a peek through this. Like I said, I have been having an absolute ball getting this set up. I just think it is such a great system, and it's so cool how you can really truly personalize it to exactly what you need from your planner system. And yeah, I'm really excited to now like actually be able to start using it as a planner now that I've filmed this for you guys. For the last like week or two, I honestly haven't really been using a planner, because I, like I said, was outgrowing my old planner system, and so I just haven't been motivated to use that. But I didn't want to dive into this one fully yet, and so I've kind of just been flying by the seat of my pants without a to-do list or anything each day, and it has honestly gotten a little chaotic, and so I'm really excited to have a planner in use again. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. It really helps me out, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see other videos like this, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!